Okay. No, it's already on there now. That's cool. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning, good morning, good
Good
morning.
morning.
I don't
Yeah, good
know if we're
morning.
live yet. Oh yeah, we're live on mine.
We're live.
We're in the group.
We're live. Are we live?
Are we
Just
live?
checking in to see if we're live. Are we live?
Yes, we
I
are. Good morning.
wonder if the chat's going to work today. I'm going to do a test chat, and Tim put up the chat on my screen. Close. Good morning, Facebook. Hey, Tezza. Good morning, Owen. I'm live, buddy. How are you? My son's going to go and he loves popping on Instagram and throwing shade at me. It's pretty cool.
Oh, is that Owen? Your Owen?
Yeah, my Owen. He's
Oh,
on
good morning.
Instagram. Are you live, Dad? Yeah, no, wait. He'll start throwing nasty little comments
That's
at
so
me.
cute.
Not cute.
It is.
It's not.
A
It's
little
disgusting.
groupie.
You know the good thing about being a dad that has like multiple social media accounts is like if I do something a bit out of the ordinary and they want to be smartasses, I can just like tag them in it and their friends will see my video if I look an absolute dick and then it embarrasses them. I love social media for that reason. So parents out there, if you have kids that are teenagers and they want to be smartasses, get on your socials and destroy them.
So this is the new age of like sitting in the school drop-off line. You're like, bye,
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you. Yeah, I know. I love you, Owen. I'm just telling you on camera.
That's so funny. That's like such a crazy like thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kids are still so young at the moment that I actually would never think that at some point they're going to be sitting on their phones, like
Yeah.
probably watching me.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
so weird. So weird.
Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Tezza. Good morning, Ash. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Pam. I don't know why, but anyone that comments on my personal post doesn't come up on the chat. But anyway, that doesn't matter. We'll have to try and use the one in the group. I'll just have to load that up. And anyway, what were we talking about? 37 days until you're tying
Ready?
the knot, mate. Hey?
So exciting.
Yeah?
So exciting.
Though, is it really?
It is. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm thinking about like when it's over.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to feel? I've heard like some people say when it's over, you get that little bit of like empty sort of feeling because you spent so much time planning and you spent so much time focusing on it that then it's like it's over.
It's a whole lot of nothing for one day, right?
Yeah.
But, I get it. It's a special day and all the rest. But, like, if I looked back and Joe and I were ever to get, like, married again, I'd go to another country and spend all the money on a beautiful holiday and do that. But yeah, like I'm happy for you, mate. 37 days, pretty cool.
So exciting.
And Drew's locked in, poor bastard.
I know. He'll have to deal with me forever.
Oh dear, that's it doesn't have to be forever.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
I can't even. Oh, here we go. Excellent. Cool. All right. Sweet. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Suze. Good morning, Pam. It's not Suzanne.
No, it's not, is it?
Not Suzanne. It's Suzanne. I got roasted for it. I know. I knew it was going to happen. It doesn't matter. Anyway, how is everyone? Hope you're having a great week. I know it's only Wednesday. Yeah, you're more locked in with kids, says Sean. Yeah, you definitely are.
You're like, oh my God.
Children, they are fun. Hi, Owen. What was I talking about? I don't know. Wait, yeah, have no idea. Wedding. Anyway, Q&A. Good morning. Has anyone got any live questions? Hook us up. Hook us up in the chat. Send it through one of our social media accounts, and we'll get to it pretty much live. But we have got some pretty good bangers this morning to talk through. And we'll get into it straight away. But as I said, just pop a note somewhere for us if you've got anything you want to ask us live.
Private message.
I'm sorry, I'll answer that question now. I'm taken. I'm sorry. 21 years. I'm sorry. All of you out there, I know it's hard. It's a tough thing to talk about, but yeah.
Wow.
Just put it out there in case that question comes up.
Oh dear.
I know. I've got tickets on myself. All right. Question.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. I have bad posture and a turtleneck from put it together, son. I have bad posture and a turtleneck from being sat at my desk all day. What can I do immediately to help? Well, if you've got a turtleneck, you better go to the toilet. No. Okay, so I'm a sucker for that because I do sit at the desk all day and I do find myself hunched over. But the one thing that I was taught really well is aligning myself up with my monitor and whatever I'm focusing on at the time. Also, to make it easier, I have a decent office chair and I make sure that is up. So my back is as straight as possible. That's comfortable.
Not too far up, because if it's too far up, then you're like more likely to
overcompensate. Yeah. And the same goes for your car. I have my seat very upright because I like to make sure that my posture. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm not a. Yeah, what's going on?
That's me.
Oh my God. I'm not like old granny up at the steering wheel type thing, but I'm just comfortable. So I try and make it a conscious effort to align my body. So yeah, if you're finding your head's like this most of the time, you got to remember your head weighs like 20-25 kilos. It's like a lot of weight to put straight on your neck and back. So what can you do immediately? Sit up straight, keep your posture nice, your shoulders back like I am doing right now just for the camera because I'm talking about it. And as soon as the question's over, I'll slump back down. Well, it's having cameras on me makes me more aware of it, to be honest, which is pretty cool. Ergonomic chairs are good, desk set up at the right height, even making sure that your arms and hands are at the right position on the table so your shoulders are down. Get off your ass every hour if you can and take some short breaks.
Stretch.
Yeah, I think it's
really important too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, half an hour stretch session, but pop up a couple of minutes, stretch, pull yourself back.
Yeah.
I think also too, like we live in a world where we're on our phones so much as well.
Yeah.
Where do our phones sit? We don't sit our phones up here half the time. Down here. So over time you trying to bring a bit of awareness to that and roll your shoulders back and pull yourself back up and put your phone down.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, put your phone down. The other thing is, I don't think most of us realize is what's keeping us upright is our core. Our core is stabilizing our body while we're sitting at a desk and stopping us from moving back and forward if our chairs are shit. So I actually think adding a couple of more sessions to do specifically with your core strength at the gym every week or at home because and remember the core is not just your abs, right? It's your core is the middle part of your body, which is your back and your hips, and that form part of it as well. So strengthening your core is super important to helping your posture. But also if you're at the gym and you're working out, generally you're doing either a full body or up or a split, you're working on your arms and shoulders anyway. And every time you're doing bench press or you're doing pulls and back workout, you're also strengthening that part of your body and pulling it back into place. So yeah, being overly conscious of the way you sit and the position you're currently in when you're at the desk every day. If we go back to the actual root cause of the question is, I sit at my desk every day, I find myself with turtleneck, humping down. Be conscious of it. Get off your ass and move. Stretch every hour and a half if you can. But yeah, work on your core as well because that stabilizing muscles. If you've got them nice and tucked in, chances are you'll correct itself.
Yeah, cool.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Good question. All right. I've been training for 4 weeks now and I'm finding I'm not sweating as much as I used to. Is this normal or am I not working hard enough? I want to open by saying that just because you're not sweating doesn't mean you're not working hard enough. I don't think sweat should be a metric you use to measure the intensity of your workout. Okay? Yeah, the intensity of your workout should be measured by the effort that you put in, whether you can hit your rep range, whether you're using the right weight, whether you're following the program properly. I think that should be your metric to gauge on whether or not you're working hard enough in the gym. But the question's about I'm not sweating as much as I used to. Is this normal? Yes, it's definitely normal. when you're doing stuff for the first time, you're exerting a lot of extra pressure on your body, so your body is going to heat up a lot quicker, and the sweat is made to cool your body down, so your skin gets water droplets on it. Obviously the air on it cools your body down, that's the whole point. But when you do progressive overload and you're getting used to weight, the weight in the gym or even running or whatever you're doing exercise wise, your body is going to acclimatize to the new normal, which means your core temperature heating up to a certain degree won't go as quick, because you're used to it, so the sweat won't come. So that's totally normal.
Start out, you're carrying a bit of extra weight as well, so that's going to heat things up. Your heart rate's going to go up a lot higher than what it would once you get used to being in the gym for a while. That's going to increase you sweating as well. So
definitely,
extra weight, heart rate is higher. Like you said, you're exerting yourself more, so of course you're going to sweat more.
Yeah,
sweat heaps. I barely sweat now.
Sweat, baby, sweat. Yeah. So it's normal because your body is becoming more efficient. Like the human body is an amazing thing to adapt to different scenarios. And if you're putting your body through constant stuff every week, which is, progressive overload, or you're running or cycling or whatever it is you're doing for training wise, it's going to adapt to it and become more efficient. Focus on your intensity in the gym. Focus on completing your rep ranges. That's the gauge you should be using. But also stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. It's super important to counteract, heat loss and everything in life. So let's just make sure that we're not using sweat as a gauge in the gym. It doesn't matter if you come out of the gym. Sometimes I sweat like an animal. Sometimes I don't. It can do with whether the aircon's on or not in the gym, whether it's 38 degrees outside and it's 22 inside. There's so many going there.
Hormonal fluctuations.
Yeah, you could have your period and all of a sudden your body's up. The core temperature's up. There's so many different factors that can affect it. You could be sick. You could have the flu. There's so many governing factors by what determines your body temperature raising.
At the end of that question too, am I not working hard enough? Like you said, I think a great indication of if you're working hard enough is, number one, are you upping your weights progressively over time? Are you feeling stronger? That's probably the number one indication for me of, am I working hard enough? Very rarely do I get DOMS anymore. So that's not an indication of a really good workout. Sweat is not a good indication of a good workout.
Yeah.
But progressively over time, am I upping the weights? Am I feeling stronger? That's a great indication of, are you working hard enough?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's just we're conditioned in our lives that if you're not sweating, you're not working hard enough. It's always been that. Excuse me. If you're running and you're cycling, you're going to sweat quicker than you are in the gym because you're exerting your body a lot quicker through heating it up. So, don't use sweat as an indicator. Use your technique and whether or not you're hitting your rep ranges as an indicator. If you had a good session, how you feel. DOMS might not be the best indicator, but there's no better feeling to me than.
I know. How good is it?
Even I feel my traps and my shoulders, and I had a good session yesterday.
Especially when you don't feel it for such a long time, and then all of a sudden you're like,
it comes back.
I'm feeling a little bit.
Feel like a Hulk. Yeah, pretty cool. So that should answer the question. Karen, last night, I forgot to put it in there. She sent a message through for me to ask, which I'm going to send the question now. It is, do I have to have a protein shake directly after I've finished the gym? Is there a window that I must have? It used to be you have to have a protein within 30 minutes. Research, I think Jace has educated me on this, has shown that it's not necessarily the way. The most important aspect is hitting your protein target throughout the entire day. It's not specifically you must have a protein shake within 30 minutes of the gym. There is a window, I think, of 2 hours where your body does scream out for a bit more protein, but it's not.
The actual benefit of it probably isn't a huge amount.
The bigger benefit is your 150 to 200 grams, whatever you're taking of protein a day.
But if you're someone that likes to go to the gym on an empty stomach and you feel hungry when you leave the gym, have a protein shake.
Right.
If you don't like going to the gym on an empty stomach, have a protein shake before you go to the gym.
Yeah, exactly right.
It doesn't really matter what time of the day.
No, it doesn't. It's not specific.
Judge yourself. If you're hungry, have it. If you're not, don't have it.
Yeah. If you feel like you need to shake after the gym and that's something that you do, I'm all for it. No problems at all. But yeah, it's not specifically necessary. Just have it within 30 minutes, an hour, straight afterwards. Personally, more important for me is getting carbs in my body before I go to work out, because that's the first thing that's going to be depleted. So I like to make sure that half an hour before I have some kids like Milo cereal or something, like maybe a good 2 handfuls, because that's like a good 150 grams of carbs or whatever for me to hit the gym with. That's more important to me, is I get the energy so I can work out, or peanut butter on rice cakes or something like that, because I get fats and carbs pretty quickly.
Yeah, I like to work out on an empty stomach in the morning. In the afternoon, obviously different because I've eaten through the day, but I find, and it's actually very interesting, changing your routine a little bit. Like with the kids on school holidays, I've had to switch my routine to do afternoon gym sessions.
Okay.
And noticing the difference between those workouts of when I eat and when I don't eat is actually incredible.
Yeah, right.
I get such a much better workout when I haven't eaten opposed to when I have. But that just shows you as an individual, you enjoy having something there, and you obviously get more out of your workouts by having some type of fuel there. Whereas me, I get more on an empty stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, personal preference. But Karen, great question to ask. Thank you for asking. But yeah, there is no real dedicated time frame to have your shake after the gym. If you feel like you need to have it, it makes you feel good, have it, no problems at all. Just take account into your calories for the day and your protein for the day to make sure that that's the shake that you're going to have for the day. But yeah, it's more important hit your target every single day. That will be better for you in the long run, because one day, if you miss it one day, it's not going to matter. It's total.
Sorry, I've got
it's all right.
Ground. Chase.
Punch out. Yes, I love this live parenting. Guys.
No, they've been very good. Very, very noisy. They're foghorns of them.
That's all right. All right, cool. Number 3 is, before I started my health journey, I was keto. It's given me a bad relationship with carb, but especially fruit. What fruits are the best to be eating right now that will help fill me up? My favorite thing to remember is anything that ends in berry. I like strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, blackberry, like those stuff. So those fruits are really low in calories, really high in fiber. So yeah, they're great. They're probably some of the best fruits to eat. But what's the goal? Like, what is the best fruit? Like, fruit's fruit, right? There is stuff that's got higher sugar. There is stuff that's got lower amounts of carbohydrates in them, but they've all got fiber. They're all good for us. They've all got natural sugar. So there's nothing wrong with fruit.
Something that like really stood out to me when I first started was, there is a stigma around carbs and fruits. And, if you don't have that knowledge, it can be really, really easy to get caught up in it. And these diets like keto that tell you stay away from carbs. Carbs are bad. Actually thinking back to, like the Stone Age, I guess. What did we eat? We didn't eat shit out of a packet.
Yeah.
We ate stuff that came out of the ground.
Yeah.
Carbs. Stuff that came off trees, which is fruit.
Yeah.
We ate meat.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't eat shit out of a packet.
Correct.
So these foods aren't bad. Think about energy.
No, that's right.
Carbs are energy. I know on a day that I haven't had enough carbs, I feel like rubbish.
Yeah.
I absolutely feel like trash. Okay, don't go on to eat carbs all day. Obviously, that's not going to work. But carbs are energy.
Yeah.
Fruit is energy. Like, natural sugar over processed sugar is going to be 100 times better for you. So many people are like, oh, but fruit's still got sugar in it. Okay, yeah, it does. But it's natural sugar.
Yeah.
Processed rubbish.
Correct. Yeah. Don't be afraid of fruits. There are no best fruits to be eating right now to help fill you up. I think, like, if you look at watermelon, you'd have to eat a whole watermelon, it's only like 200 calories anyway, but you'd have to eat a whole watermelon to fill you up. Who's going to do that? Not many people.
No.
For me, it's just moderation. Everything in moderation. I like to eat my fruit with a protein. Sorry?
Bananas are great. They fill you up.
Potassium, they've got a little bit of protein, not much in them, but I like to pair my fruits with protein. So I like to have fruit with yogurt or fruit with cottage cheese or something that'll just, with a little bit of honey on it. It's good. Something that'll just fill me up because the protein's going to fill me. The fiber and the sugar and stuff in fruit is not going to be the filling agent. To me, I need to have protein to fill me up. So don't be scared. Carbs are your friend. Carbs are not the enemy. Yes, they do help you lose weight quicker if you don't have them in your system, but then everything else in your system that relies on carbohydrates to function doesn't work as well. So don't be scared of fruit at all. Take as much as you can during the day. It's the old 3 pieces of fruit is actually a pretty good thing to go on by. I know with blueberries in my household, we go through probably 10.
Anyone would think we're millionaires in this house. Like,
and speaking of that, I changed from I've been shopping at Aldi. I reckon I've saved $100 a week, easy, right? I never even thought about it before. But even the blueberries, like $2 a punnet versus $4, $5.
It's crazy, isn't it? And my kids can sit down, Chase will eat the double punnets, not the single layer ones.
They're the fatty,
the big boys. Yeah. They'll sit down and eat that in 10 minutes, easy.
And there is nothing better than grabbing a massive blueberry and hearing the crunch when you.
I don't like blueberries. I can't eat them. They give me
Who are you?
I don't know. I have this textural.
Oh wow.
Them that is just can't do it. Through smoothies and things like that, that's fine. But on their own, I'm nah.
Interesting. Someone likes banana berry, which that's pretty cool. I like that. Anything that ends in berry. Waterberry.
What's a banana berry?
It's Tony being a smart ass.
Wow.
Sean asked a question. Do those neck things actually work that you lay on with your head back? Yes, Sean, they do. I've got one. They're not very expensive. It was expensive, $70 or whatever, but ironically, my wife just used it a minute ago and I'm going to go use it now. So what it does is realigns your neck, because we spend so many days like this on our phone and our heads forward. This actually takes the pressure off your neck muscles and your neck bones. I know, probably looking like a moron, but if you can lie back and have your head to rest, it actually realigns your neck. So it's quite good. Our chiropractor recommended us to do it, especially because I'm cycling and wifey's cycling so much and our head's always down focusing on the road. So we always have really bad shoulders and neck and traps because of that whole thing's jacked up. So yeah, they definitely do work. If you go to my link tree, there's a link there for 50%. No, I'm joking.
I was really?
It's actually not a bad idea.
Next level, Mike. Next level.
I'm always in for the sale, mate. All right. Number 4, I still have a habit of falling off the wagon on a Saturday night. Here we go. Too much wine and food. What do you suggest? What do you suggest to try and help this? Okay, I still have a habit of falling off the wagon on Saturday night. Too much wine and food. What do you suggest to try and help this? Okay, you go first. I want to let you take over.
I think it's important to work out what's falling off the wagon. Are you going into this big spiral that's lasting all week to the week after? To me, that would be falling off the wagon.
Yeah.
You're having one night, okay, if it's consecutively each week, I still wouldn't really classify that as falling off the wagon as such. I would say that there's a habit there that you need to really recognize, but I wouldn't say it's falling off the wagon at all.
Yep.
So I guess, is it stress induced? Are you stressed and you have a couple of drinks and then you start the eating? Or is it that you are just out, you're a very social person, and you kind of just don't really have any self-control? You've got to go away, please. Stop. I'm on a video. Go away, please. No. Sorry.
All right.
So recognizing what the actual triggers are. Is it stress related? Is it that you're just a really social person? What is it that's creating this habit of falling off the wagon. I don't know. For me, I guess I've never really had that weekend issue. So it's hard for me to really understand why people do this, because I've really struggled with it myself.
Yeah, sure.
Not being a big drinker has been actually probably the thing that stopped me from doing that, because I feel like a lot of people, when you speak to them, they say a couple of drinks and then I'm into the cabanossi and I'm into the cheese, or like, it's kind of like a gateway, I guess. And then you have a couple of drinks and then I guess your judgment and, you know, like your goals kind of go out to the back.
Yeah.
You're not really thinking about them at the time. You're like, woohoo, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like working out what the trigger is.
Yep.
Is it the drink or is it the food? Does the food lead to you drinking, or do you go out for breakfast and then you go, oh, that was really good, I'm going to go out for lunch too?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was meant to do my groceries today and I forgot because we were out for breakfast and we're out for lunch and I didn't have time. But we'll just get takeaway for dinner. Like,
yep, that's generally
working out what is actually causing that wagon fall off.
Yeah.
And rectifying it, I guess, making small changes. And it's not going to be perfect straight away. Like if it's something that you really struggle with, it's going to take time to get rid of that habit. Small changes. Make sure you're prepared. And, you know, if you go out for breakfast or lunch, maybe just go out once a day.
Yeah, definitely.
2-3 times a day.
Yeah, definitely. And
the
question specifically said, I'm falling off the wagon on a Saturday night, too much wine and food. I suggest, like what you said, is if it is a habit, like let's break the habit, but also let's flip it around and say, hey, if you're looking forward to Saturday night, maybe it's a routine thing you have with friends or family, or budget for it during the week. Like, let's look at it. What's our ultimate goal? We're here to lose weight. Yep, cool. We're here to lose weight. Okay, what do I need to do to lose weight? I need to be in a calorie deficit for most of the week. It doesn't have to be every single day. We can play around with our calories. One day be a bit lower, one day a bit higher. We can do that, right? That's the goal. Is if it's at 1,800 a day, whatever it is, 7,000 a week. Like, let's look at it's not 7,000, be 14,000 and close to. Anyway, you know what I mean. But let's play around with our calories. So if we want to have a big night on a weekend, let's have a big night on a weekend. But let's go and say we're going to consume 3,500 calories that day. So
I'm going to get back up and I'm going to get back into routine.
Yeah. But I'm going to budget for it during the week. I might duck down to 1,500, 1,600, take 200 off a day, which is 1,200, 1,300, and then I'm adding that onto my 1,800. That's 3,000.
But actually, in the long term too, that just reminded me as well. This is where the benefit comes in. Like when we talk about reverse diets.
Yeah.
You get to enjoy more food,
yeah,
more wine with absolutely zero guilt.
Yeah.
Absolutely no extra weight gain. Like that, you know, restricting calories and things like that isn't the end game.
Yeah.
It's never going to be the end game. We want to be able to enjoy more of the things that we love without the guilt and without the extra weight, I guess.
The restricting calories part is a tool that we're going to have in our arsenal when we do put on weight to get back to where we want to be. There is nothing wrong with going away for a holiday for a month and enjoying yourself and putting on 2 or 3 kilos. Nothing wrong with that at all. If you've got the tools to come back and snap into a calorie deficit straight away, put your protein levels up really high, you're going to lose the weight. That's the whole idea of joining the Beachbody Academy, is having that tool in your arsenal. Happened to me.
Exactly what I've done leading into the wedding.
You dropped 5 kilos.
But just before my dad passed, like we were backwards and forwards. I put on a bit of weight because, you know, like I had a lot of other things happening.
Yeah.
And then going into the wedding, I'm like, all right, I want to lose a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what I needed to do. And guess what? I dropped 5 kilos.
Yeah, exactly right.
Easy.
You got the mindset of a champion.
And I've still been able to go out for lunch. I've still been able to enjoy myself, but I've just got that knowledge and I know exactly what I need to do to pare it back a little bit.
Exactly.
And hit those goals. And I think that's so empowering. Like when you have that knowledge, like you're not held back anymore.
Correct. But not everyone has the knowledge, and that's why they come to us for that guidance. So in a nutshell, if you are going to have a constant Saturday night, plan your meals around that day. Like if you do reduce your calories during the week. In that day or that Saturday, we'll call it, you don't have to have a high calorie breakfast and lunch. You can actually lower them as well. Maybe take off another couple hundred calories in your breakfast and lunch, and then you can plan for having a big night. Look for alternate sources of alcohol that are less high in calories. Like go for your sodas and vodka lime sodas or something like that, or your low calorie beers, which are 80 calorie versus a normal beer is 180. So you can have bang for buck, 2 for 1. But also reward yourself with non-food treats to stay motivated. Like for me, it's like getting up and going for a ride or doing stuff that makes me happy. But don't discount it. Have a great night. Like enjoy it. But if you're here to lose weight, budget for it. It's like you can't spend money in the bank you don't have unless you've saved it up. So it's the same with calories. You can't spend the calories unless you've got an excessive amount in the bank so you can go ham.
Yeah.
End of story.
Boom.
Cool. I love this question. This is one of my favorite topics because it's deep to my heart, but also my head. Slowly gaining confidence in the gym. Slowly gaining confidence. I'm going to the gym, but still find I freeze up a little, thinking people are looking. What's your tips to build confidence at the gym?
Keep going.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations for going to the gym. Like that's
even when you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's hard. When you're surrounded by super fit people, athletes, or anybody that's a little bit more advanced than you, it is very intimidating. It doesn't matter what environment you're in, whether it's business, whether it's sport, whether it's anything to do with, when you've got somebody at a different level than you, it is very intimidating. But if you're at a place that you're comfortable with, as in the gym that you're going to, and you have a little bit of you're not such an introvert and you can say hello to people, generally you'll find out most people are really nice and I
think the gym is actually one of the most supportive.
Can be.
Yeah. Well, some people, no matter where you go, what you do, some people are not a part of that. But for me, I've actually a lot of people that look at you, funny story. I've had a lady in my gym that used to stare me up and down, and I used to think, what is her fucking problem? I actually stopped one day. She walked past me and I stopped and I thought, no, you know what? This makes me feel really uncomfortable. I thought she was judging me and I just stopped and I said, hey, how you going? I've seen you working out in the gym recently. I said, you look really good, by the way. And she's like, oh my God, I hope you don't think that I've been judging you or anything, but I've been watching you as well. You look incredible. And in that moment, I was like,
that's
wow.
It. Yeah.
Sometimes our perception of we think other people are looking at us. We think that people are judging us.
Yeah.
Actually, they're probably sitting back going, you know what? I've seen this chick or this bloke in the gym for the past couple of weeks. They can see the changes happening. They can see you up in your weights. And they're probably sitting there, maybe with resting bitch face.
Yeah.
But they're probably sitting there going, fuck yeah, I love that. Good on them. Yeah. I know I do it. I see people start in the gym and then progressively over time, you see them up their weights and get confident.
Yeah. It's a great thing to see.
I love that.
Yeah. It so is. I think the most intimidating part is the mirrors, people, because you can't get away from them, right? But mirrors are there for you to check out form. It's to make sure that you're targeting. If I'm doing bicep curls in front of a mirror, I'm looking at my bicep going, okay, it's working. I'm doing my muscle connections right. I'm on the money. There are guys that use it to pose and flex and all the rest of it. That's cool. And some guys are there doing it because they're actual bodybuilders and they're entering into a competition. But it's hard not to make eye contact in the gym if somebody's in your peripheral vision, right? It's not that you're actually staring at them. Sometimes you're just so focused that you lose your perception of where you are. But for me, if you've got intimidation, which is absolutely common and there's nothing wrong with it, you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a program in place so you know what you're doing. You've got to go to a place that you feel comfortable going to. Every new client that starts with me and they're never been to a gym before, the first thing I say to them is, go to 4 or 5 gyms in your area, talk to the owners, walk around the gym, go at the time that you would normally go to the gym and see what the clientele's like and the people that are there. And if that first time you go in, you don't feel comfortable, that's not the gym that you're going to work out at, because you're straight away behind the 8 ball. So find a place that you feel comfortable with. Get a set of headphones. Like, I got the big fuck off ones for a reason. It's like, when they're on,
leave me alone.
I'm in the zone. I don't mind people talking to me and asking me how many sets I got left. There is nothing wrong with that at all. I don't have a problem with it. But for me, I like, if I want to focus, if I want to hit a good set and just have no distractions, doing phone on airplane mode if I can, or on do not disturb, because then I don't have constant messages coming through. But yeah, just remember, like, most people at the gym are there for themselves. They don't give a flying fuck what you're doing, unless you're doing something wrong and they want to help you out. And take that advice from someone. Don't be one of those dicks that.
And a really powerful tool for feeling confident in the gym: go and buy yourself some new gym clothes.
Yes.
Go and find something that you feel comfortable in. If it's a lady, go and buy yourself the booty shorts. Put them on. If you go, look, yeah, my ass looks amazing in this. Put them on.
Yeah.
Put them on and go to the gym and feel good.
Yeah.
Dress to feel good. Don't dress to impress other people, but dress to feel good for yourself.
Exactly right.
Really, really powerful.
I think we all have to I did a reel about this yesterday, and it was one of my favorite ones I've ever done. We've got to remember, we're not all going to the gym to look like Chris Bumstead or Tia-Clair Toomey, like those people that are humanly, ridiculously ripped. We're not going to the gym for that reason. We're going to the gym
a bit fitter, a bit healthier.
Yeah, but we're like us, for use of a better word, average human beings are going to the gym specifically to. Some men look at their dick for the first time to lose some weight, to be able to bend over and tie our shoelaces up because we don't want to get puffed doing that, to run around with the kids and not get puffed after the first time you sprint, to look in the mirror and feel good about yourself and not look at the shit that makes you feel like stuff. Like, we're going there for the gym for such a different reason other than specific aesthetics. Yes, there might be a part of it that we all want to have a washboard stomach and all the rest of it, but no. For average Joes, like, it's not about going to the gym to look like an absolute weapon. It's about going there to create something that you're actually going to love again. It's just to look in the mirror and say, hey, I feel good. I feel really good.
I like what I see.
Yeah, that's what we're going to the gym for. Okay, we're not going there to be intimidated to go and lift 100 kilos because someone else is. I don't want to. I don't need to. My physique's different.
That's the goal. Good on you.
Correct.
Like, everyone has different goals. Everyone has different, I guess, ideas of where they want to be. If you want to go and lift 100 kilos, go and lift 100 kilos. Not straight away. But
what's the goal?
Yeah.
If you're there
for confidence, it's probably more likely that you're just starting out, though.
And you'll get more confidence when you start looking good and feeling good in your own skin and not judging yourself when you look in the mirror. That's when the confidence comes into play. It's not when all of a sudden you've learnt the routine right. Like, to me, it's the shirt that fits well. It's the pants that you have to adjust. It's the belt that's got 6 more notches put in it. That, to me, that's the goal. That's the win. The bending over and tying your shoes without, taking the stairs without panting and puffing. Like, that's the win. The normal, mundane, day-to-day stuff that we don't even think about, that's the win. When we can do those small tasks and not be puffed out, that's why we go to the gym. So, yeah. But building confidence is all about not being intimidated, having a program and something to follow so you're not stressed out where to go, knowing your environment, having some good music. The gym clothes, like brand new clothes and stuff like that, 100%. All the gear makes you feel good. But just be comfortable.
Yeah.
All right, I really want to start building my booty up, don't we all? But I need to lose fat too, so eating in a deficit. What can I do to build my flat butt whilst losing weight? Well, there is nothing wrong with being able to build a booty while you're in a deficit, as long as your protein target is hit. Okay, because you're only going to build muscle if you're eating enough protein. End of story. If you're in a deficit, of, say, 400 or 500 calories a day, and your protein's at 150 for girls and 180 for 200 for men, you will definitely build muscle. As long as you're at the gym, you'll definitely build muscle.
I think specifically though, it's really, really good to remember that if you're still trying to lose weight and you're in a deficit, it's going to be a lot harder to build that muscle. It's not going to be overnight. Like if you eat your protein, you're going to have this big bubble butt. It's going to take time. It's going to take a change in your diet as such. Once you get to a point where you've hit a goal weight, like me at the moment, because going into the wedding, I'm like, okay, I want to cut my calories back a bit, lose a bit of weight. But once the wedding's done, I'm like, I can't wait to up those calories again because I want to build a bit of muscle.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I want to start to feel a bit of tone in my arms, tone in my bum. Like I want that bubble bum. But you can still do it whilst in a deficit, but it's just a lot harder.
Definitely.
Rather than saying that you can build muscle, I would probably say if you're losing weight in a deficit, you're actually toning the muscle rather than
correct. As long as you're progressively overloading when you're at the gym, you will build the foundations. Okay. The good thing or the best thing about the program that we subscribe to everybody by being in a deficit but having high protein is the fact if you go to the gym and lifting weights while you're still losing weight, when the weight comes off, you have the tone come through because you've got that solid foundation, right? Same as with your ass. As long as you're progressively overloading your ass and you're doing specific training, like this is the question, specific training focusing on your ass, your booty, you will build a great ass. And when you lose that weight, you will see the shape come very quickly, as opposed to a Jenny Craig diet or something else that just specifically targets nutrition without going to the gym as much and not having a real high protein. You will lose the weight, but you won't have the toning or the definition that will come through. So going to the gym while on a deficit and in a high protein diet is the greatest way to build a solid foundation. So when the fat comes off, you have boom, boom, the muscles pop through, and that's when everything, the confidence comes up.
Also, too, specific exercises, I think it is like absolutely ridiculous the amount of exercises you see online these days. You go scrolling through TikTok, and I tell you what, there's some things that I think, Jesus Christ, what is this person doing? One, you're putting yourself in a position like all these crazy, like build your booty exercises. You're putting yourself, like for the most average person that's just trying to build a bit of muscle and whatnot.
Right.
Some of these exercises, one, are just way too complex. Two, putting yourself in a position where you're probably going to injure yourself and put yourself out. And three, it's probably actually not even doing a great deal for your bum.
No, it looks good on camera. That's all it is.
Keeping it super basic. Squats are great.
Yeah.
Squats. Something very simple and very, very underrated.
Exercises have been around forever for a reason.
Yep.
Squats, lunges, RDLs, single leg stuff. I like doing single leg stuff to correct imbalances.
Like single leg is really, really good when you want to isolate that muscle as well and really target an individual muscle. So for me, I love single leg cable kickbacks. They're like my favorite because I can really feel that glute muscle really engaging and I can slow it right down and I don't have to have huge weight.
Yeah.
It's actually just the movement itself and the tension, and it's simple. But you see a lot of people, they do all these weird, wonderful things. And it's probably working some of the muscles, but the most underrated exercises specifically to build a booty are the basic ones.
Yeah, definitely. I can't agree with you any more than that. Let's not overcomplicate it. Let's go back to basic and say if you want to build a booty while in a deficit, you can do it as long as your protein's up. You're specifically targeting your ass with the right exercises. You're tracking your weight so you can make sure you're progressively overloading and hitting your protein target needs. Like there is no reason why you can't do it. End of story. It might take a little bit longer than if you are already fit and have a decent foundation. But if you're overweight, you can definitely do it. Definitely do it. I'm feeling a little down having to take naps in the day with caffeine just to get me through. Help me get out of this slump. Oh, that's tough. I've been there before. It's definitely fatigue and energy levels that are your problem. how much sleep are you getting during the day, not the night? If you're not getting 7-8 hours at least, I know most of us are on 5 or 6. I was on probably less than that when I thought I was a hero, but sleep is the most important. Caffeine, like, I think I'm immune to it in a certain way because I
Me
can have a coffee
too.
and go to bed and still sleep quite well. But if that's the thing that's keeping you up, that's making you a little bit fatigued or whatever, sorry, getting you through the fatigue, maybe look at taking it back or not relying on it so much and looking for ways of managing your energy.
I want to see this from a little bit of a different perspective, though. So, what's the circumstances around the naps? Like, is it that you're not getting enough sleep? Or I know there's been times where I've suffered really, really badly with my mental health.
Yeah, that's where I was leading to.
Really draining. And yeah, I've had to listen to my body and slow down a little bit and take naps and recharge myself. I might have had a really good sleep at night, but my mental health has been so drained. Like, again, my dad passed. I was taking a lot of naps through the day because I had so much going on up here that my body was physically exhausted. I was still doing what I needed to do. I wasn't suffering. But yeah, I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with taking a nap through the day and possibly needing a little bit of caffeine to give you a bit of extra energy and, you know, get you through the day. But what is it that's actually creating this? Yeah. If it's mental health, you need to
high stress environment.
Back to why is this happening? Why is my mental health suffering?
Yeah.
Do you need to go and seek a bit of extra help by someone? Go and seek a bit of extra help.
Yeah, correct.
Is it just that your sleep is rubbish and you need to get more sleep? Get more sleep. Are you eating really shitty food before you go to bed? Or are you eating and then going to bed straight away? Some people can't.
During the day,
Yeah. Are you exercising? I know exercise is huge. When I feel really tired, just getting up and going for a walk gives me energy. It sounds so weird.
Yeah.
Still don't understand the technical side behind it, but so many people say the best thing to give yourself energy is doing something like going for a walk, going to the gym. You know, you're releasing those endorphins that make you feel good and they make you feel happy. So you've got more energy. I dehydrate. There's so many different variables, I guess, to this. Like, are you dehydrated? Is what making you tired through the day?
Especially when it comes to fatigue, it's so different in everybody in this world. And as you said before, that finding the root cause of why you're so fatigued, why your mood's so low, like the environment you're in. Is it a work environment? Is it a family environment? Is it friendship circle? Is it, finance? Like, so many things can.
Like, are you burned
out? Things can determine how your mood and your fatigue is. But the one thing to combat fatigue is managing your energy, and your energy is what determines your outcome during the day, and that is determined by, like we said, food, water, sleep. Exercise, all that stuff. So find out what the root cause is making you feel like shit and your fatigue levels are, and work back from there. You know, I can't say to you, get rid of your family and friends and you'll feel better. No, it's not the way. Go seek help. Go find someone to talk to. If it's mental health, like, fuck, it's not weak to speak, man.
And even if it's something so minor and you think, oh, like, I'm just having a day or two where I just feel off, like, it's still pick the phone up. There's hotlines that you can ring and you can speak to someone and just say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Is this something that I need to go and see someone about?
Yeah.
Like, if it's affecting you enough that you feel like, Jesus Christ, I'm physically debilitated and I need to lay down.
The irony of this is I had a great conversation with one of my all-time best friends yesterday, and she's been a bit down the last week, and I've known that, and I picked up the phone, I called her, and she said, I just don't talk about these things, and then she just went for an hour and talked about it and felt so much better. But you don't realize the fatigue that other people around you have by knowing that you are suffering, and you don't put your hand up and ask and talk about it. We're not, everybody in this world is not a counselor, but if you love someone or know someone well enough, like, I just want someone to get it off their chest. I'm not necessarily going to have the answers, but just having someone that reciprocates and listens and potentially has been in the same position and can say, hey, I've done this before, try this. If it doesn't work, well, hey, like, it worked for me. That can just be a massive benefit. But yeah, going back, root cause is definitely the thing. You've got to find out what's making you fatigued and work back from there. As I said, if it's work and it's highly stressed, and you're like, try and work out a way of doing it differently, or not bringing it home and, taking it out on the family and things like that. It's not an easy thing to do, but combating fatigue is managing energy. And if energy is fucked, it's because you're not eating enough, you're not drinking enough, you're not sleeping enough, you're not working out. So try those first. They're the best forms of attacking and helping and aiding in your mental health issues.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not keen on sweet potato and much prefer white potatoes. I love this person. Is there any nutritional difference? Does it really matter? Okay, there is a very small nutritional difference between sweet potatoes and white potatoes. Sweet potatoes are, I think, 10 calories per 100 gram less than normal potatoes. They do have a higher fiber content and vitamins in them, but both of them can be part of a healthy nutrition plan, depending on what your goals are and what you like to eat. If you don't like potatoes and you like sweet potatoes, eat the fucking potatoes. Just count them in your calories. That's the important part. If you don't like broccoli and you like green beans, don't eat broccoli, eat the green beans.
Yeah.
Just count them in your calorie target. Okay, let's not be specific. If you don't like something, you don't like steak and you like eating chicken, cool. I'm all for that. It's protein. Swap it. Keep your calories around the same and keep your proteins at the same thing. I love white potatoes purely because they're versatile and they have good carbs in them, and they are delicious and can have them with anything. So I love sweet potatoes.
Like you said, the nutritional value really isn't that big.
Fuck all to worry about.
You're going to notice. It's really.
I'm getting 100 grams of protein more than white potatoes, no problem. Sweet, I'm on it. I'm going to eat sweet potatoes my whole life. But no, it's kind of personal preference. If you don't like them, don't eat them. End of. I'm starting to lift heavier. My hands are getting all sore. Can I wear gloves? If so, what do you suggest? I don't like wearing gloves because I find they make my hands sweaty and I end up taking them off anyway. You'll find over time.
Let's just get used to it.
Yeah, calluses, I've got them. Your hands will get used to it. Your grip strength will probably increase more.
Rings, I don't know, like, it's when you hold on to the bars specifically, like the skin kind of catches. Can you be quiet, please? That hurts. So taking your rings off, but like obviously be mindful that people aren't going to see them. Don't leave them in clear, plain daylight.
Yeah.
But yeah, taking your rings off can make a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely.
How sore your hands are. But yeah, over time, I guess you just get used to it, don't you? And your hands just kind of toughen up.
Yeah, you do. They toughen up. So yeah, can you wear gloves?
Wear them.
Yes, you can. Yeah, yes, you can wear gloves. No problem at all. If that's what makes you get to the gym, wear them. I would choose gloves that have a good grip, that feel comfortable. Sometimes they have the webbing in your fingers. Like, I would find something that feel comfortable, and ones that have the good ventilation on the back. Like, if you're wearing full leather, it's going to really, really make your hands sweat, and you'll find that you'll lose the grip. But liquid chalk is really good too. Like, I see a lot of people use liquid chalk because it's not so damaging and doesn't leave a dust cloud everywhere. It's good for grip. So yeah, whatever gets you in the gym makes you happy. I don't wear gloves because I don't like them. End of story. We have got live tantrums. How do I deal with tantrums of kids? We get rid of Aaron. Bye-bye. No. Last question, guys. I think we're going way over time, but that's cool. My core is my weakness, trying to make it stronger. How long should I train core, and how many days is optimal? 2 days a week, I think, would be optimal. You can always add.
You need to actually specifically have a like a whole session based on core, because you've got to remember that you're using your core.
Yeah.
For 99% of your exercises anyway.
Correct. But if we've got to target it, the question is where we want to target core strength specifically. If that's what you want to target, then yes, you do need to accommodate for it. It doesn't have to be a day. We can have 2 sets at the end of each. Yeah, we can just back them off at the end or at the start. I find if I work on my weaknesses at the start of my session, I will definitely do them. For instance, my calves, and everyone's going to laugh, but I always do calves first because they're my weakness and I make sure I get them done. And if it's abs, if I have abs on one day, I'll have them first, so I make sure I get them done. Because at the end of after I've had a bad session, I just don't want to do it. I don't feel like I can do it. But if you want to target core strength, 2 days a week, if you feel like you need to do it, cool. But you can.
I like to add it on the back end. I think.
Yeah, you can add it on to the back end, and you've got the time during the day. But if you're doing a body part split and you're doing back, chest, arms, legs, and you've got an extra day to do core, do the core.
Yeah.
Tie in with something else. But don't forget, again, as I said before, it's not just your abs, it's your lower back, it's your obliques on the side. Like everyone thinks core is abs, right? It's not just abs. So have a mix of stability exercises, rotational exercises like twist, Russian twist and stuff for your obliques, planks for your gut, and leg raises for the bottom and the back.
I think it is weak too, though, like being mindful. I know my core is very, very weak compared to the rest of my body. Yeah. That's kids, C-sections, all that.
Yeah.
It fatigues very, very quickly. So I do totally agree with what you said about having a specific day targeting it. But I know for me, having a very weak core, there is no way I could do a specific day targeted to my core. I'd be in there 10 minutes.
Target on the end.
Would fatigue. So if you're someone that is very, very weak, starting off with adding it in, and then building that strength, and then going into targeting a full day, like a full session of your core.
Yep. No, that's perfect. So the thing with core is because it's such a small muscle, form and gradual intensity increase is the best way to build on it. I see people out there doing like shit so quick that they're going to flap their wings and fly away. Form is king on anything. Form and just gradually increasing the extra amount of reps you can do every time. But yeah, if you've got time to do it for a Saturday session, do it. If not, tag it on the back if it makes you feel good. But if you want to specifically pinpoint it, my gut recommended is at least a minimum of 1 to 2 days a week if you fully want to target it and get that increase in strength. Cool. No more questions. Anybody else? No? Excellent. Are you eating? Oh, okay. No, we already covered that. Thanks, Ez. I know we went a bit over time today, but I think we got a little bit excited with these questions that were really good. And
thanks everyone for putting up with
hopping along.
The reality show.
Listening to the reality show, I think there's my family on that. I haven't heard them.
Normal life, though. Welcome to the world of a parent.
That's right. It's not all Instagram photos and little hair modeled head, getting your hair done every day. It's about shit hitting the fan. Exactly right.
We smile and we push forward.
We do. See you guys. Thanks for joining us.